In a steady rain, the honor guard stood ready on this April afternoon near the tomb of the unknown soldier in Arlington National Cemetery. As the door opened, out came one of the most powerful men in the world, France's 25th president, Emmanuel Macron, there on the left. He walked toward that marble tomb with an unknown American soldier inside. He acknowledged the immense honor before him, even in less than ideal conditions. To place a wreath from the people of France for that American soldier who died on a French battlefield nearly 100 years ago in World War I, along with the other two unknowns here on the plaza and all the unknowns buried around the world. He made the ribbon perfect, a symbol of precision and reflection for a soldier's sacrifice. It was just one day later.
They wanted to truly ensure that this individual was unknown.
Historian Chris Warren gave KMBC behind-the-scenes access to the same exact room President Macron had learned how Sergeant Edward F. Younger picked America's unknown in 1921.
The World War I unknown was presented with various awards and decorations. The Medal of Honor, of course, the Purple Heart, the Distinguished Service Cross.
The grainy films from that war show us the cannon blasts the soldier may have tried to dodge in the fields of France to earn those medals, or the trenches he may have hid in. Ultimately, 1,622 American soldiers became unknown after World War I. The atrocity of trench warfare left battlefields full of untraceable body parts and families at home shattered. Their son, brother, or husband would never come back.
For those families, there was one place they could come, where they could come to a grave itself.
Today, the unknown soldier in that marble tomb is one of 1,295 still unidentified from World War I.
Because they're unidentifiable, the remains, I think that gives some hope and some solace to family members that no matter who you are, no matter where you came from, the person in that tomb could have been your loved one.
We're not just guarding a grave, we're guarding somebody's family member. The first thing I see when I walk up on the plaza, especially as a former tomb guard, is the tomb.
The honor of guarding the sacred site falls to soldiers like Gavin McElvenna.
That's my brother. Each one of the soldiers that are buried in the crypt and that empty crypt for the Vietnam unknown soldier, those are my brothers.
McElvenna served as tomb sentinel from 1997 to 1998.
During my time, I had 4 unknown soldiers on the plaza that I guarded.
That is, until the Vietnam unknown, Air Force First Lieutenant Michael Blassie was identified by DNA evidence in 1998, then exhumed in a ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. Today, that crypt remains vacant to honor all those still missing from that era, alongside the unknown remains from Korea, World War II, and World War I. The Army's old guard watches over them. Every hour, every day, every year.
You talk to them, you wonder who their families were, where they came from.
There's a special bond the Sentinels and the unknown share.
At first I sent the man ahead of me.
Exactly. Why hearing for the first time an unknown soldier's voice through music.
As around us the earth explodes.
Is so powerful.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. No, that was amazing. I think that was amazing.
It's McElvenna's first time to actually hear the work he gave input on by the Heartland Men's Chorus in Kansas City. He came to listen and help the choir get ready for their upcoming concert.
When the crowd leaves the cemetery and it's just the sentinel and the unknown soldiers that are buried there, we have the opportunity to think the very things that you brought into song.
The very things like whom that soldier loved, where he lived, or the fears or dreams in his head as he died on that French battlefield. Could we possibly see him today through a different lens?
Our armed forces in general are made up of Americans from every race, color, creed, orientation, it doesn't matter.